What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Youngstown State Dynasty. Picking up here in the month of November, we got basketball and football for you guys here today, so it's going to be a really good one, man. Make sure you go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe as well if you do happen to be brand new. And we open things up, we got invited to a preseason tournament, so I am extremely excited about that. But we got a rematch, man. We are taking on the UCLA Bruins. Now, we did upset them last season back in year number 1, and I think we're a tad better. We're up to a 71 overall now. We're still heavily overmatched, right? But we got a slightly better team now with a 73 offense, 69 defense. Shooting, rebounding is better. UCLA, though, they came in. They have 87 points, or not 87, but an 87 overall. So we got we got some things going on for us. So got some basketball action. We're also, gonna take a look at recruiting because got some big things on the recruiting front. But that being said, I will see you guys on our court for the basketball opener. We'll see how these young guys handle it, the pressure of playing against a top 5 team on the road. Alright, boys, so we are out here once again getting another shot at UCLA. They come in here, man. They come in number 3 in the country. But that don't matter to us. We remember the last time that we played these guys back in year 1. We did pull the upset, so we'll see if we can do that again. We can see if we can pull yet another upset as we'll go ahead and tip things off and get things underway as we take on the number 3 team in all of college basketball, the UCLA Bruins. As we'll go to work here on this opening night as Pearson goes in the post, and we're going to get busy with it. Gets his own rebound and is going to get that bucket to go. And that's going to be a big story. Pearson, a guy that is extremely talented, a true freshman, Justin Jones, is going to have his hands full in his very first collegiate game. So we're going to have to see how that matchup turns out. But we got a pretty good set of guys as Reese Shafino gets it out to Justin Jones, who throws it down and absolutely puts the poor man on a poster. And not only that, Dieng, 23, gets called for the defensive foul. So a 7-4 lead early for the Penguins, as now UCLA trying to go coast to coast with it, and Belzer is going to be able to get that one to go in. So a close game here early, even though UCLA is a much more talented team, as Jones gets the steal, gets it out to Jordan Andrews on the break, who throws it down. 5'8", man, and he goes. That has to be at least a good 40-45 inches on the vertical. That is absolutely insane. And so is Pearson, who has been carrying this UCLA offense early. 6 out of 8 points so far going to this team, as Finn Otis is going to get himself involved. He's also making his collegiate debut as well. The former 4-star out of the JUCO ranks making his presence felt, except he misses the dunk. Oh, he blows it. Oh, you absolutely hate to see it, man. And UCLA with a chance to potentially cut this down to a 1-possession game. Almost got the steal, but they go inside to Dieng. And Dieng looking to attack. He gets the post hook to go in the very close game. As we move into the second part of this first half, as Reese Shafino finds the lane, the senior able to get the dunk to go. So 20-12 game here, as Youngstown State is looking fantastic, not fazed by this hostile crowd, as Shafino is going to be called for the goaltend. That was not going to be made, but we gave UCLA a free bucket there. Something that we simply cannot afford, as, we already know the odds are going to be stacked against us here. As Campman looking to dribble it out on the perimeter, gets it out to Migley over on the left-hand side, looking to dribble in, gets it out to Campman, Cabin inside to Platt. Is Platt going to pull up? Yes, he does. And gets the post shot to go. Second bucket of the day for Pratt. As the Bruins come in within 4 points. Back inside the Fowler to Duran. And who does an absolute 360 windmill? Oh, he cradled a baby there. As we're trying our best to, just to keep things tight right now. But you can tell this UCLA team is a little bit more talented as Pratt goes inside. Almost gets that bucket to go. But Shafino either way will be called for his first foul of the game. And UCLA did briefly tie it up, but we do get the lead back quickly. But still, 2-point game. Get it out to Jones, and Jones throws it down again. The true freshman from Elyria, Ohio, looking to make his presence felt, and we are sure feeling it right now. Andrews trying to pull on 40 mid-ranger danger, but that's not going to be good. Going the other way with it, and Duran gets the bucket to go. And we will have to use one of our timeouts. All knotted up at 26 apiece. As we come out of that timeout, 5 minutes left to play here in the first half. We got the steal, and here comes Youngstown State. We like to run with it. Going inside for Cam Jones, who lays it up and gets it to go. And Cam Jones been looking pretty good as well. 9 points here in this first half. As Platt gets out the perimeter to Oliver. Oliver to Duran, and Duran sinks the mid-ranger danger in a 31-30 game. As Duran pulls up for free again. That's no good. And here comes Youngstown State looking to extend the lead. Bang! Going with the slam jam in a 3-point game. We're going to take the lead into halftime. Duran for free. No. But Dang gets his own rebound. Looking for an easy bucket. That's no good either. So the defense holds up. Here comes Cam Jones looking to go coast to coast. Gets it into Justin Jones, who throws it down. Transition was not always pretty, but Justin Jones making his presence felt in his collegiate debut. He already has 9 points in this one. We find him in the paint again, and this time a soft baby hook. Able to get it inside. And just like that, Justin Jones already with 11 points in his collegiate debut. As the lead gets stretched out to 7 points. Duran on the perimeter, looking to attack, gets inside and finds an easy layup in a 5-point game. But looking to go into the halftime locker room with somewhat of a lead, as Duran looks like it's trying to take over. But despite that rally by UCLA in the end, we still have a 3-point lead going into the halftime locker room. So we go ahead now and jump into the second half here, as we do have a 3-point lead. And one thing we got to contain, we have to contain Pearson some way, somehow, and that's not necessarily going to cut it. Justin Jones going to be called for his first foul, and Pearson will be able to make both free throws. And UCLA almost getting that steal. They could have gone the other way with it easily, but we do find Reese Shafino on the perimeter, and we get the mid-ranger danger to go. As it's still knotted up here, 1 point separating these two teams. Pearson looking for the lead and tries to posterize on Birdie Footlock. But even though we stop him, we are going to be called for the foul. That's the second personal already. And they only managed to tie it up. They do not manage to take the lead, which we get that lead right back. Another dunk for Justin Jones, shooting 85% from the field, trying to go back to him again. He gets the steal, gets it out to Cam Jones, and Cam Jones gets the mid-ranger danger to go back in. As Cam Jones gets it inside, the Reese Shafino back out to Jordan Andrews. Andrews tries to get it to cross court, but it's stolen by Platt, and it's an easy lay-in the other way and knotted back up at 48 apiece. We got ourselves a high-flying game here at Platt. We're going to give the Bruins the lead. Belzer taking his time. Gets it out to Dieng, who's wide but naked open. He can't finish, though. Pearson gets the offensive rebound. Gets two. and won't need a third because on the third try, Pearson gets it. And he has been a menace. 26 points in this one. But something to keep an eye on is that Pearson is in a little bit of foul trouble here. That is his third personal. As we do complete some of those free throws. As Platt going out to Oliver. Oliver looking to attack in the paint. Draws the foul on Finn Otis. That's going to be his first personal foul. And he will be able to make both free throws. As it remains a very close game. Looking back and forth. Might have an instant classic on our hands here, you guys. As Oliver looking for the lead. Steps back and hits it right in the face of Vince Parker. Not really much we could do about it there. And now UCLA has the lead. Now we need our defense to step up here now. Our offense starting to slow down a little bit, but it looks like UCLA is starting to find its rhythm a little bit. Conway rising up and hitting that mid-ranger danger as we're looking for a bucket the other way, but he's got its ball stolen up to Kim in the other way, and it's a foul on Vince Parker as Platt has been all over the court. 8 steals today. He has been a menace. And UCLA extends this thing to a 3-point lead. We're looking for a way to get to the paint, but we can't do it. And now UCLA attacking in transition. Belzer the other way, and it gets the and one. Jordan Andrews can't stop the easy layup. And the and one will be converted as well. So a 6-point lead for UCLA. That's their biggest one of the day so far. Is now Belzer looking inside to Pearson. Pearson the Platt, and Platt gets it in. Is this the moment where UCLA completely takes over? We're in some danger now. Pearson with the post hook, but can't get it to fall. Here's a chance to make it a 1-score game. Footlock, bang! Dieng called for the shooting foul, and that's his 4th foul here in this ball game. Birdie Footlock cannot finish the free throws, but it's back to a 3-point game. Pearson trying to attack the paint, but even with the double team, we still can't stop him. 30 points in this game. He has been the focal point of his UCLA defense. As we go inside, attacking Cohen. Cohen inside, and Cohen will get the bucket to go. And Cam Jones now has a double-double in this one, now with 16 points and 10 rebounds in this game. And coming down to the final minutes of this one, Pearson inside to Migley. Not a lot of good spacing here for UCLA. Need a crucial stop. Belzer dribbles it off his foot, and Cam Jones going the other way, lays it up, and it is good. So a 1-point game here as Cam Jones now has 18, and we try to take the lead, but we turn the ball over ourselves. Pearson, layup, no good. But Jordan Andrews called for his 2nd foul. And getting down to the last 2.5 minutes here of this first game of the season, we might have another upset on our hands. Pearson attacking the freshman, but Birdie Footlock is going to be called for the reach-in, and that will be his 3rd foul. And that will also put UCLA in the bonus, where Pearson will calmly make his first free throw, and he will also make the 2nd free throw as well. So definitely a close one here as we get it inside to Justin James. James looking for the lead, and he gets it. And not only that, but their star player in Pearson, who has 30-plus points, fouls out of the game. He is done, and we will not have to worry about him for the rest of this one, as that is a big loss for UCLA, but they still have a lot of fight, though, as they somehow get the offensive rebound off the free throw, and Reese Safino has to foul. And so 2 free throws for the Bruins, and hey, maybe that ball don't lie, as that first free throw is missed. 2nd one, also no good. And Justin Jones grabs his 11th rebound in this one. Birdie trying to attack, but gets it outside to Jordan Andrews, who pulls up and also draws a foul. Zach Dieng, he's going to be done. He is going to be done. He is going to be fouled out. And a chance to take the lead here, but Jordan Andrews misses it. But Schifino gets the rebound. No good. Jones, can he finish? Yes, he does. And the Penguins with a lead here. And now UCLA has to go ahead and call a timeout. Last minute of action. That's going to determine this one. Couple more stops here. We'll seal the deal. Belzer lays it up and gets it to go. All knotted up at 78 apiece, but we got a chance at the ball, trying to go 2 for 1 here. Jordan Andrews gets it stripped. Jones with another rebound. No! Another attempt. Yes, sir! And we take a 2-point lead on the number 3 team in America. And one more stop could do it. Belzer looking around, waiting for his guys to get set up. Darren back to Belzer. Belzer, 15 seconds left to play here. This is to take potentially the lead, or to at least get it into overtime. We almost got a turnover, and we do! We get the turnover, and now UCLA is going to be forced to foul. They send Reese Schifino to the line. He makes the first free throw. If he makes the second one, this should ice the game, and it does! He makes the second free throw, and we pull a stunning upset. We win this one by a final score of 82-78. And how about Justin Jones being a real difference maker? So what an exciting finish, as for the second year in a row, we end up beating UCLA on their court, by the way, and we do so with great shooting. We end up going 52% from the field. We are 3 for 7 with the free ball, so didn't shoot that three-pointer that much, but when we did end up making sure that we were efficient with the basketball, man. Did have a ton of turnovers today, but that just kind of count because of how 2KA kind of counts turnovers. But you know, we had a ton of steals in this one. We ended up getting most of our points in the paint, and doing so mostly without much contribution from our bench, right? We only had 13 points total from our bench in this one, but that was because our starters just generally did really well. I mean, Cam Jones, first and foremost, dude goes off. He ends up with 20 points and 12 assists in this one. Also chipped in 4 steals as well. Schifino ends up with 11 points. Birdie Footlock ends up with 12 points, 1 assist, 1 steal. I actually did not get a single rebound in this one, which is really interesting. And then the player of the game, the guy making his debut today, we got good old Justin Jones in his very first collegiate game. He comes through and huge game, 22 points, 14 rebounds, 7 steals on top of it. Couldn't get very much from our bench, but our bench didn't play very much in this game, I don't think. I mean, the bench probably came in, well, I guess they had a little bit of bench time, but I mean, it was mostly our starters out there, particularly Cam Jones, who ended up with 37 minutes in this game, and we need him for every moment. So great win for our program. Hopefully this means that we finish with more than 11 wins, and I will jump over to the football side of things, because that's not the only thing going down on this eventful weekend. So that big upset that we had against UCLA is not the only thing that might be going down. We also have our final football game of the season, and while we do not have any opportunity to have any postseason action, unfortunately, we can still play a little bit of sport now. Now, we played 2 very competitive games. First game we played against Tennessee Martin. We did pull the upset off in overtime at home, and doing so under the lights as well. So I definitely love to see that. Jody Gentry, man, our starting tailback, the true freshman, he really shined in this one. 90 yards and a couple touchdowns on the ground, plus 31 reception yards, also for a touchdown as well. So we win in overtime against Tennessee Martin, and then almost doing the same thing to Jacksonville State. We were very close to beating them as well. unfortunately, just was not in the cards for us this time around. Now, Chris Ty did have a very fantastic game in this one, going 26 for 39, 280 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Kept it close the entire time, but we did end up losing in overtime, in a 1 overtime game in this one. So here we are at 2-8, and we are here on senior day now. We are taking on the number 9 team in the FCS. We are taking on Southeast Missouri State. Now, Southeast Missouri State, man, even though they are the 9th ranked team in the country, this is certainly a very winnable game. They have a D+ offense and a D defense, and our rankings are actually very similar. Our defense just isn't as talented, and that's why we aren't ranked as high. But I think this is a game that we can win, especially with the emotions of senior day. We are going to say goodbye to 9 seniors on this team in this episode, so gonna be missing those guys for sure. I mean, they stuck through it even though we did have those sanctions come down, but this is a big game as well for Southeast Missouri State, even though we aren't the most talented team on the planet. Obviously, I mean, 2-8, it is what it is. But Southeast Missouri State is tied for first place in the Big Ten, right? They are tied along with Eastern Kentucky and Tennessee State. So, right now, freeway tie. So it's in their best interest to win this game as well, just so that they can, give themselves the best opportunity to at least clinch a share of the conference championship. Now, the Big Ten does not have a title game like it does in NCAA 14 because at the time, there were only 11 teams in the Big Ten, right? So, big game for us for sure, man. And we also signed some recruits as well. We got some help in the trenches. We managed to sign 2 4-star players during the in-season recruiting. We end up signing Jordan Smith out of Trenton, Michigan. He's going to be a very good pass rusher that will help reinforce our defensive line. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we also signed another offensive lineman, 4-star David Allen from Potomac, Mississippi. So that will help reinforce our offensive line that really has been very suspect. But yeah, man, without further ado, let's go ahead and see if we can pull off 2 big upsets in this episode. We already beat the number 3 team in the nation, but wait a minute now. We have some sanction issues, and it looks like our starting tailback is going to miss the season finale here in year number 2. Broke some team roles, man. Broke some team roles. So, we're going to miss the game, and we're going to have to see if we can win this one without one of our best offensive players. I'll see you guys on the field. Alright, boys, so we have elected to go ahead and defer to the second half as we go ahead and get things underway here on senior day. Taking on the number 9 ranked Southeastern Missouri State. Guys who are making us look silly out here. Are they going to take this to the house? Oh, no, not what we wanted. Adam Holbert cannot catch up. And right off rip, man, they take a 7-0 lead instantly. And definitely a tough pill to swallow for sure. As we try to get ourselves back together. Trying to get a drive of our own going, but we take a huge sack. Chris Ty absolutely gets crushed. He didn't even see it from the blind side blocker. And that's why we still got to work on providing an offensive line for whoever starts at the quarterback position. As now 3rd and 19, we're looking for just somebody to get open, and we throw a dot to John Langford, who comes down and makes the catch. And that will at least keep the drive alive for now. As we got a fresh 1st and 10 to work with, and Chris Ty making some things happen on the triple option to the left. And now we go ahead and go to work. On Southeastern's side of the field, Ty, he's going to look to run for the first down, and he's going to get it. He will go ahead and run himself out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Great run by Chris Ty, as he's looking really good on this drive. Trying to set up the quarterback screen. I don't know how to pass, though, as Dyker to home just tries to make something out of nothing. But Charles Hansbrough definitely is down for the count. He injures his leg on that play. and hopefully it's not too serious. Having our number 1 tight end hurt definitely does not help out the cause. And we now have 3rd and 12. Ty looking to his left. He's going to throw it over the middle and finds Thomas for a huge play. Goal line set inside the 5. Looking for the end zone, but it's fumbled. There's a scramble for the ball, but Isaac Wynn picks it up and he's going to get into the end zone. How about this for raising my blood pressure a little bit? Isaac Wynn eventually falls on the ball, actually runs with it. But hey, it turns out well in the end. And we got it all knotted up at 7 apiece here. And now, Southeast Missouri State takes over. Phillips, this is actually the backup quarterback for this Red Hawks team. As Phillips does scramble out and getting to, looks like about the 35-yard line. And it'll set up another 3rd and short here where they fumble the football and look who sits on it. Randy Sutton, the 4-star defensive tackle from this past season's recruiting class, falls on the football, and we take back over on Southeast Missouri State territory. Looking for a 2-score lead as we find Jack Flash. And Jack Flash gets us in the red zone. Can he finish it off? To home. Looking for some running room. Has some space to work with. Almost getting it into the end zone. And to home. Really in this first serious action for him. Usually sits behind Jody Gentry. But you know he's suspended. As we'll set up play action. We find Jack Flash in the end zone. Touchdown, Penguins. And how about this QB to QB action? Jack Flash, man, even though he is not somebody that typically, plays that position, answering the call for his team and using his athleticism to get himself open. And so we do have a 14-7 lead, but a problematic punt here. This might be trouble as the Red Hawks are taking it downfield. Waiting for the last line of defense, who gets blown up like a Christmas tree. But that being said, we do force him out of bounds. So now it's up for our defense to make sure that we still hang on to this lead. Phillips drops back the pass. He's looking. He's got some time to throw this thing, but it's intercepted by Adam Holbert, who tries to take it coast to coast. But he's going to be brought down to the 35-yard line. And what an incredible play by our defense. Essentially starting from out in the red zone. But we will hold up as a defense. And now the offense gets back on the field. As Chris Ty, he'll roll out to his right. Looking for somebody to get open. Finds Charles Hansbrough. Wide but naked open. But we'll see what this flag is. We'll see if it ends up going the other way or if it affects us at all. But it turns out it's a face mask. So that actually gets us only a 5-yard face mask. That was a thing back in NCAA 06. I believe in modern college football, it's a 15-yard face mask no matter what. But we got to pick up this 3rd down, though. We got 3rd and short. Chris Ty will get himself into shotgun. We got a free wide set. Tight end to the right. Looking for Jack Flash over the middle, but it's going to be deflected away. And that will force us to settle for a field goal. So we do at least have a 2-possession lead. We're up 17-7. And we also almost get a free and out on the next possession, but that's not quite meant to be. So now the Red Hawks are on the move here, trying to get some points on the board before going to halftime. As our man gets absolutely mossed. We had the coverage. It was right there, but Tyreek Phillips just put it in a spot that only his receiver can get it. And it's another 1st down as Phillips throws over the middle, gets it out to Massey. Massey finds some space over the middle of the field. And listen, our defensive line is getting a little bit of pressure, but we're not finishing plays. And we're allowing them a couple more extra time to get some points on the board. And speaking of points on the board, we had double coverage there, and we still ended up getting beat deep. double coverage, you guys. How does that happen? And this is why I don't play man coverage very often. We just don't typically have the athletes to pull off something like that, and that certainly showed there. So now a minute left here in this first half as we'll try to get some points on the board before we go into the locker room. And going with an interesting approach here, we do end up starting off by running the football. It works for a first down, so we'll see if we can make something else happen. Ty looking downfield. He's got one-on-one with John Langford, and he comes down and makes the catch. And now the Penguins are in the red zone, looking for 6. Ty looking, but he gets broken up. It's a second sack of the day, as he just did not have the time. Nowhere really to go with it, unfortunately. And so we are down to just one more timeout. We've got 22 seconds left to play. Ty looking, gets it out to Jack Flash. He breaks one tackle. One man with the beat. Woo-hee! Ooh, baby, Jack Flash. You don't gotta do him like that. And we're gonna go into the halftime locker room with potentially one of the biggest upsets in this series. We got a 10-point lead at half. All right, boys, so we got a 10-point lead, and not only that, we do get the ball to start this second half as well. We'll get things going here as Ty rolls out to the right. He finds Jack Flash, and Jack Flash has been an absolute menace, playing out of position, but it doesn't even matter though, as now Jack Flash comes into the game at quarterback, as we'll go ahead and try to throw on a 4-wide set, looking short to John Langford, and he will make the catch. And there has been significantly more first downs here for the Penguins than there has been for Southeast Missouri State. That has been the key for us so far. We'll see if we can pick up yet another first down, trying to pick it up on the ground. As the home is in the backfield, Isaac Jefferson with the escort, but we can't find space to work into Holmes. Cannot reach the first down marker, unfortunately. We do at least set it up to where it should be an easier field goal attempt, and this should make it a 13-point game as Lee Richardson gets ready to kick it. We might shank this thing a little bit, and it hooks left at the last moment. And Lee Richardson is absolutely beside himself. He can't believe that he misses that kind of field goal. And so it still remains a 10-point game, and the Red Hawks will take over, starting off by getting it to their star tailback, who they haven't really used that much. I'm actually really surprised by that. They've been relying more on Tyreek Phillips, who's a backup quarterback, as he's been making some good throws. Don't get me wrong, like that one right there. That was a really good throw there. Is now 1st and 10 from the 39 as Phillips will drop back again. Trying to throw over the middle, but it's intercepted. Intercepted by Craig Franklin, who catches it off the deflection. And let's go, baby. Craig Franklin, man, with the pick. And another potential drive by Southeast Missouri State ends up getting thwarted. And we will take over at about midfield with a chance to put a dagger into these guys potentially, as we're here in the fourth quarter now. Ty looking, but facing pressure though. And again, locked up in the pocket. And we will have to take that sack. So now, 2nd and 19. This time able to escape to the left. Looking downfield. Dangerous throw, but Ty James comes down with it nonetheless. And a 1st and 10 at the 25. As Jack Flash comes into the game now. Rolling, trying to throw it for John Langford, but just a bad decision there. And one of our players also getting hurt. Sean Taylor gets shaken up. That's our best offensive lineman. That is down for the count. So now the Red Hawks take over at the 26 after the inerrant throw by Jack Flash. And we're going to go deep right away and finding Massey. And Massey having a big day so far. 5 catches for 91 yards. It's been a big day for him so far. And now our defense needing to answer the bell again. Phillips looking. Has some time. He's looking to get it downfield. And he gets it to Massey again. A 100-yard day for Messi. Just threw it up for his man to make it, and Moss is our defender. Our defensive back couldn't even locate the football, unfortunately. So now it's just a 3-point game. We cannot run out the clock, and our defense needs to hold it down. Phillips looking over the middle, gets it out to Watson, and Watson will get it to about the 35-yard line, but they will go ahead and go into their no huddle. Another 1st and 10, Phillips, this time looking deeper downfield, and now we're looking at maybe 1, maybe 2 first downs away from being in the field goal range to tie this game up. Do they go for overtime, or do they go for the win here? Less than a minute to play. 3rd and 5. It's a 5-wide set, and Tyreek Phillips is in shotgun. Phillips looking, runs out of time though. And even though we don't get the sack, we will make it 4th down. And this entire game comes down to this. The Red Hawks, one of the best teams in the country in 4th down conversions. Does it hold here? Phillips looking, trying to throw to the left-hand side, but it's deflected away. And that game is going to be over in Youngstown State. We don't pull off just one upset. Oh no! We pull off 2 upsets in this episode as we take down the number 9 team in all of FCS college football, the Southeast Missouri State Red Hawks. What a great moment for our guys. So how about you put some respect on our names, man? We end up with one of the greatest games that we said we played since we started this series. It finished as the number 3 game all time, man. I am so pumped about it. And we proved a lot of people wrong here today. They were talking about how, oh, they're going to overpower us. We can't compete with these guys. And not only did we compete with them, we won the football game, man. And honestly, we could have scored more than 24 points, right? We were in a position to go ahead and get a lot more than that. I mean, we were only 3 for 5 in the red zone. We had a turnover. We had a missed field goal as well. So got to work on that as well. But we won the turnover battle. We won the time of possession. And that was a big deal for us, man. That's going to give us our 3rd win of the season. And we pull off another upset in this episode. Upset City here for both the football and basketball program. As a 2-quarterback system, man, I think it's pretty effective personally. Chris Ty, ends up with his best day in gameplay at the very least. 14 for 21, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Did get sacked twice. Jack Flash, he threw the football 5 times today. He was 2 for 7 for 27 yards, but also had that interception in the red zone. So, but that wasn't where he made his biggest impact. It was in the receiving game. I mean, Jack Flash, he's an athlete, man. He is a very athletic player. 4 catches, 62 yards, and 2 touchdowns. John Langford, in his final collegiate game here, ends up with 5 catches and 90 yards in this one. So a great performance. Charles Hansbrough, another senior, ends up with 2 catches for 51 yards as well to go with it. So those are 2 guys that we are going to say goodbye to. Running game, though, we did not get much going in our running game as well. DeFiker DeHome did get the start because Jody Gentry was suspended. He ends up with 11 carries for 36 yards. Chris Ty ends up with 12 carries for 8 yards. And then Isaac Jefferson, he got the full handoff one time. He was 1 for 7. Now, blocking, we gave up a lot of sacks, man. We gave up a ton of sacks, though not all of them credited to various offensive linemen. So some of them was because we ended up scrambling. But our defense, the defense was a big deal, man. The only reason that it was close was we did give up a kick return for a touchdown at the beginning of the game, but we did a real good job of keeping ourselves composed afterwards, as both Brian Brooks and Adam Walters led the team in tackles today. Walters playing in his final game of his career. Didn't get any sacks, unfortunately, but we got a couple of interceptions. Craig Franklin, one of our defensive linebackers, got a pick. And then Nathan Holbert, senior corner, just was all over the field, it seemed like. Actually finds a way to make plays. I mean, this is his 3rd interception, at least in gameplay, I want to say. And Of course, we did end up getting a forced fumble, which Randy Sutton, our freshman defensive tackle, 4-star guy that we ended up signing during year number 1, he came through and got a fumble recovery, and that did set up one of our scoring plays. So great job once again for our guys. We find a way to win this football game, and hey, we just found a way to hang on despite the fact that we did not score any points in the second half. We finished our football season on a high note. So we played through the remainder of the month of November, and in a few games that we simulated, we did go 1-2. So we finished the first month of our basketball season 2-2 on the year, and doing so, kind of having some surprises here. Game number 2 against Northern Colorado, we do end up losing by 8 points total at home. We did end up seeing Chris Ty chip in with 15 points and 5 assists, as well as Colin ending up with 14 points and 5 rebounds in the game, but really not getting much luck from our starters. Now, it's kind of the same thing with our Mount St. Mary's matchup. We lose to Mount St. Mary's on the road as well. This time, though, we got a little bit more from our starters. Jordan Andrews ends up being actually the leading scorer in this one, ends up with 10 points in this game, off of 4 rebounds, 1 assist, a steal to go with it. Shot 3 for 7 from the field, but just, don't really get much from our, really from anybody. Everyone kind of struggled in this one, but we do win a game in simulation. We do beat Tennessee State. They beat us on the football field, but this ain't football. We beat them in basketball. Now, this guy, Sheriff Avery here from St. Paul, Minnesota, he was a problem in this one. 84 overall, ends up dropping 27 on our heads, but does not get any help from his teammates. Meanwhile, we've had, actually, looks like 4 different players score in double figures. Jordan Andrews ends up dropping 11. Shafino also ends up dropping 11 points as well. Justin Jones actually was pretty quiet in this game. He ends up only dropping 1 singular point off of 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Only shot the ball 1 time as well, so definitely was really quiet today. But we did see Vince Parker and Gentry end up being the leading scorers in this one. Parker, I believe, is our 3-point specialist. He ends up going out there and shooting 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. And then we do have Jody Gentry, actually, the true freshman point guard. He got a little bit of run today. He ends up with 13 points and 3 assists in the game. He was a leading scorer, and doing so playing 28 minutes, man. So you love to see it. Justin James did only, looks like, played 6 minutes total. So hopefully he's not hurt, which it looks like he's not, but the backup center is Ronald Turner. Strained his calf, is out for 9 days. But the biggest thing for us is the recruiting class that we put together, right? This recruiting class that we currently have, absolutely electric, dude. Look at this class that we put together. How about the highlight of this class, Donald Terry, the Mr. Basketball of the state of Philadelphia, and we get him to come to Youngstown State. Now, we might have had to throw in, a little bit of NIL money, something like that, but we're just gonna ignore that. Get our first 5-star for the basketball program. Also end up with another top 100 prospect as well from Parma, Ohio. This is Evan Corsail. Now, Kevin Corsail, looks like he's got ace shooting, so maybe a guy that could stretch the floor a little bit, and definitely someone that could certainly get some playing time, although I don't know what his potential is actually going to be. So hopefully he has some solid potential to work with. And then the third player that we did end up signing, 3-star point guard Joe Watts, also from the city of Philadelphia. So we signed 2 Philadelphia players in this recruiting class. 5'10", 166 pounds. So I would like him to, beef up a little bit. He's got average potential, and could be someone that might come off the bench for us in season number 3. but I really like what he can bring to the table. Looks like a really good shooter, and that's exactly what we need in order to be successful. So we still have one scholarship left to work with, and I do want to bring in a power forward. Now, the power forward that I'm kind of looking into as of right now is Jonte Carrington. He is from Montreal, Canada, 6'10", 206 pounds right now. We just came in with a scholarship, but we do have some competition for him. We do have to compete with the University of Buffalo as well as Siena. So we have some ground that needs to be made, but he's not locked in by any means. I do think we can certainly sweep in and grab this kid. And he looks like a pretty solid all-around player with good potential, so he would be a good add for a program. So next episode, we will go ahead and jump into really the final month before we jump into the meat of conference play. Now, since football season is over, it's going to be a basketball doubleheader. We'll check in a little bit with the football team to, take a look at, some of the season stats for the football team. But your doubleheader, we're going to definitely play this Ball State game at home to try to get a win against a MAC program. We played Akron last year, so that's why I'm not really trying to play them. And then we will also take on Quinnipiac. I believe they're from the Northeast Conference. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with them, but I want to go play against these guys. We are pretty evenly matched, and I think that'll be a good matchup for us. So that being said, I hope you guys are excited for the content, and if you are, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button for me. Hit subscribe as well if you do happen to be brand new. This is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.